From homeless teen to building the first spirit conglomerate founded by a woman or person of color, Fawn Weaver is disrupting the industry in the best way possible. And now with her latest book, Love and Whiskey, she can add Guinness World Record Holder to your accolades. Welcome, Fawn Weaver.
Thank you. And two-time New York Times bestselling author.
Tell it all. Tell it all.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I mean, can you just talk to us a little bit about everything that went into Love and Whiskey? I mean, you had years of research and tell us all about it.
8 years. More than 30 historians, archivists, archaeologists, genealogists, conservators. We pulled thousands of documents from 6 different states. I brought together the branches of Nearest Green's family, many that didn't know each other, in order to be able to piece together this story of Nearest Green.
I was wondering, in addition to it being a gift to us and really to the world, I have to imagine it was a gift to the family too, because were they aware of a lot of this?
The only thing they knew for sure is that their ancestor made the whiskey for Jack Daniel. That's all they knew. All these other elements, and so almost every descendant that I know has already read it like 2 or 3 times because it's their own history.
It's their story.
And it's exciting to them. It's exciting to me. It's gone out into the world. This is the 2nd week in a row. It's on the New York Times, and it's #1 in all the bookstores and the airports, and the reviews have just been nonstop where people get it. In part, it's a love letter to Lynchburg, Tennessee. It is such an amazing community that brought me in and helped me to piece together this story. So many of our Southern stories, people run from them. And Lynchburg knew what the story they had to tell. They could be very proud of it, and they were.
You're doing something really special for Tennessee, but tell us about the man behind it, because his story needs to be told.
Nearest Green, the first known African-American master distiller. And the only thing that distinguishes Tennessee whiskey from Kentucky bourbon is the Lincoln County process, that taking a bourbon distillate, running it through sugar maple charcoal before it goes into the barrel. Well, that's the process that Nearest Green helped perfect. It's the process that he taught Jack Daniel. It's the only reason we still talk about the process to this day, because Tennessee whiskey is bourbon. So if it weren't for Jack's family fighting to call it Tennessee whiskey, the whole world would simply call it bourbon. That's what it is by legal definition. But we get to have Tennessee whiskey with this extra process that Jack's family is actually the ones who identified it came in with the enslaved people.
Incredible.
So for me, for my heritage, it means a great deal that we had so much to do with Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, and now you have Nearest Green Distillery that people can visit.
Yes, indeed.
Is it the longest bar?
So yeah, it is now the 7th most visited distillery in the world, not just whiskey distillery, but all distilleries, and there's tens of thousands of distilleries in the world. It is the 7th most visited distillery in the world. We'll have about 350,000 people there this year. And yes, we are home to the Guinness World Record, world's longest bar. And it runs about the length of a quarter of a football field.
What led you to do this? I mean, goodness,
listen,
girl.
I had to pull people out of Nashville. Do you know how many things? I'm leaving here and going to friends in low places. Do you know how many things people have the opportunity to do here?
Right.
Are you kidding me? Garth has a bar?
I know.
Get out of here. I want to be there every day. And so I had to give people a reason to leave Garth's bar.
Oh my gosh.
And to come an hour south to Shelbyville, Tennessee. So it's 458 beautiful acres, and it's so much more than a distillery experience. People really get there, and they see people from every background, every walk of life. And it's really wonderful, because in America right now, where you talk about and hear so much about division, then you walk on the grounds of Nearest Green Distillery, and I don't care what your politics are, I don't care what your background, who raised you, I don't care about any of that. Love, honor, and respect. That is those are the 3 pillars that we built those grounds on, and you could feel it when you come.
Yeah, and if you take anything away from this today, I want you to hear, do not bet against Fawn Weaver. When this woman sets a goal,
Forget it.
Can you take me back?
Done.
I can't let you go without asking, like 29-year-old Fawn Weaver, because we know that homeless teen and now over $1 billion company. But what was it in that in-between period that made you believe I can do something no one else has done before?
I don't know about 29. I don't even really fully remember 29. Like, it's, you know, right now I'm about to be 48, right? So I don't even remember the in-between. What I will say is when I was 20 years old, I made the decision that I was going to live this life full of purpose, that I wasn't going to concern myself with what other people thought. I was going to figure out why am I here, and I was going to live that out with absolute reckless abandon. And so a lot of people, they're concerned about what other people think of them. I'm not one of those people. And so I get to just move through life and do what I think is best. I mean, everybody thought I was crazy when I was going to build this distillery. I mean, absolutely nuts. We weren't even 18 months old when I announced that we had bought all this land and we were converting this Tennessee walking horse farm into a distillery. People thought we were crazy. But I will tell you, it was the smartest decision that we've ever made, because now people come down there. Now we have the book.
Right.
So now people get to learn about Uncle Nearest and the brand and everything through the book. But before this, the place where we were able to tell the story, two places. The bartenders would tell the story as they served Uncle Nearest, and then we, as tour guides and team members down at Nearest Green Distillery, we got to tell the story.
It's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Please pick up a copy of Love and Whiskey. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Of course, go visit Nearest Green Distillery in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Fawn Weaver, thank you so much for joining us today.
You for
Congratulations
having me.
on everything.
Thank you for having
Absolutely.
me, Sammy. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.